some point this week, we're expecting the Labor Department and OSHA to release the new rules that will guide U.S. companies with more than 100 employees through the president's COVID-19 vaccine mandate or rigorous testing standard. Now, I told you in this video back in September, the president ordered the Labor Department to come up with this rule under emergency temporary standards. That same day, the president also signed an executive order mandating the COVID-19 vaccine with no testing option for all federal employees or contractors. Let me be clear, as of right now, the OSHA rule has not been made public, but since September, OSHA and the Labor Department have been meeting with interested corporate parties and unions to come up with the best solution for the private sector. While we're waiting on that rule to be released, I wanted to explain the mechanism the White House is using to make this happen through the Labor Department, namely OSHA's Emergency Temporary Standard. First, under this procedure, once OSHA publishes the rule in the Federal Register, the rule takes effect immediately. And once it's in effect, it also serves as a proposed permanent standard. OSHA says it only uses this particular emergency standard under limited conditions, including if OSHA determines that workers are in grave danger due to lots of different things like toxic substances, agents, or new hazards. And the way to protect those employees is by implementing this new rule. Just so you know, OSHA already has another COVID-related emergency temporary standard rule on the books. That rule requires your employer to follow COVID-19 protocols like cleaning standards, ventilation, and health screenings, just to name a few. Now, specifically written into all OSHA emergency temporary standards is the opportunity for legal challenges to the validity of the rule. Those must be made in the appropriate U.S. courts of appeals. And of course, there are lots of states that already prohibit any type of vaccine mandate in the private sector, so no doubt there will be legal challenges to this rule. But so far, the Supreme Court has upheld the validity of vaccine mandates when imposed by the state government or by private entities. Your young child can now be vaccinated against COVID-19. That's because the CDC has now officially recommended the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for young kids ages 5 to 11 under emergency use authorization. This after the CDC independent advisory panel met and voted unanimously to agree with the FDA's vaccine recommendation that I told you all about in this video last week. And almost immediately after, the CDC director signed off on it. Now, shipments of the Pfizer vaccine had preemptively been sent to key distribution locations, doctors' offices, hospitals, pharmacies across the country in anticipation of this approval, so it's ready to go. So what should parents know? First and foremost, if you have a young child and you have questions about this vaccine for your child, please speak to your kid's pediatrician. Second, the children's dose of the Pfizer vaccine is 1/3 the dose that adults and teenagers get. And third, the American Academy of Pediatrics put out a statement endorsing the vaccine for young kids, saying they're safe and effective, while also debunking all kinds of misinformation that's been running rampant around the internet. I'm not even going to repeat that. The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is fully approved by the FDA and CDC for those over the age of 16 and is approved under emergency use authorization now from those ages 5 to 15.